Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you may be watching this. Today I've entitled this message, Will We See a Repeat? I'm going to read some information from 6 different sources. I will identify the sources, and then at the end, I'll provide some information and my own thought. First, from the Hill. The WHO declares Mpox outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. The head of the World Health Organization, better known as WHO, declared Wednesday the Mpox outbreak in Africa to be a public health emergency of international concern, citing its continued spread and detection in several countries of the region. Quoting, Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that its view the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice, said Tedros. He continues, the detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported Mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. A public health emergency of international concern is the highest level of alarm under international health law. End quote. This from the Times of India, New Delhi. The Union Health Ministry has instructed all airports and land ports on the borders with Bangladesh and Pakistan to remain vigilant for international passengers showing symptoms of Mpox, according to a PTI report citing official resources. The ministry has designated 3 center-run hospitals in Delhi as key centers for the isolation, management, and treatment of Mpox patients. State governments also have been instructed to identify and designate similar hospitals within their regions. From First Post, man with no travel history is first Mpox case in the Philippines since December. Amid the global scare over the recent outbreak of Mpox, Philippines detected a new case of the virus in the country. The Philippine Health Department confirmed the news on Monday, noting that this is the first case in the country since December of last year. What was concerning was the fact that the Department of Health mentioned the Filipino man who was diagnosed with the virus had no travel history outside the country. The variant of the virus is yet to be determined. Next, from NBC Miami. Mpox cases on the rise in South Florida. How the newest variant differs from the one in 2022. Mpox cases are rising in South Florida as a new variant is causing concerns overseas. Doctors say the new Clade 1 variant is deadlier and seems to be spreading faster than Clade 2 did during an outbreak in 2022 that spread across the world, including South Florida. Dr. Somani says South Florida could be more susceptible to disease spread because it's an international destination. Although the new variant has yet to be recorded in Florida, Mpox Clade 2 cases are already eclipsing last year's numbers. As of Monday, Miami-Dade is reporting 48 cases, and Broward is reporting 23 cases. Again, from NBC News. Could the new Mpox threat cause significant harm in the U.S.? An apparently more dangerous strain of the Mpox virus is circulating rapidly in a number of countries, with the first reported case outside of Africa reported this week in Sweden. As concerns mount about a type of Mpox spreading across Africa that's believed to cause more serious illness, infectious disease experts expressed cautious optimism that this branch of the virus would not spread as broadly in the U.S. or cause health impacts as severe. I wonder what they base that on. From Newsweek, monkeypox outbreak before election sparks do not comply movement. A new Mpox outbreak is driving a do not comply movement among conspiracy theorists who fear that health related lockdowns will affect this year's presidential election. On Wednesday, the World Health Organization declared a global health emergency after a new strain of Mpox killed at least 450 people in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The highly contagious disease is now spreading across parts of Central and East Africa. A day later, Sweden's public health agency announced that it had confirmed the first known case of the new strain outside of Africa, prompting warnings that a coordinated international response is essential to stop the spread of Mpox. Do not comply. We will not comply. Another election, another pandemic scare. Monkeypox. Imagine that. Get out of here with that Mpox nonsense. We will not listen to the WHO, a MAGA reporter said, a MAGA supporter said. Some of that stuff sounds very familiar, doesn't it? In conclusion, there are currently more than 17,000 confirmed cases of Mpox clade 1 across Congo, Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda in Africa. One case of this new strain has now been detected in Sweden, the country's public health agency has confirmed. They say the person, who is now in isolation, had contracted it during a stay in an African country where other cases have been reported. Pakistan's Ministry of National Health Services confirmed at least 2 cases of Mpox. The virus has been classified as clade 2B, the health ministry said in a statement. The Philippines said a 33-year-old man with no travel history was the first person confirmed to have Mpox infection in the Southeast Asian country. The health department said it was awaiting test results to determine the strain. Responding to the outbreak, the U.S. government said the risk to the general public is very low, with no cases of clade 1 reported here. However, the nation has seen 1,399 cases of other Mpox strains since the start of the year, nearly level with the Democratic Republic of Congo. The fact of the matter is, for the past 3.5 years, with the current administration's failed border control policies, there have been millions of people from all over the world that have flooded into the United States. In my opinion, the U.S. is especially vulnerable considering the numerous points of of legal and illegal entry points into the country. With my having become a conspiracy nut, I see the failed policy of the current administration for every bad thing happening in America today. I wonder if this was the plan of the Democrats all along. I believe it is their goal that no matter what they have to do, they're going to prevent themselves from losing the White House. With all of this in mind, I have to ask again, will we see a repeat of March 11th, 2020? Are the lockdowns going to come? Are the mask mandates going to come? Is the social distancing policies going to come? Will the forced vaccinations come? God only knows. I hope, regardless of what goes on, what happens, I hope you're prepared, because, my friend, it's coming.